I used to be a PC gamer, but now I like consoles more. Why? What changed? Back in I think like 2006, I properly started gaming. At my mom's place, I used to have a Wii and a PlayStation 2, and at my dad's house, I had an Xbox 360. And somewhere in I think 2007, I even bought my own Nintendo DS Lite, a black one, and I played a lot of Pokemon Platinum on that. But even with all of these consoles, one of the memories that keeps popping up is playing games on my father's laptop. As a small 7 to 10 year old boy, I spent multiple mornings playing games like Rollercoaster Tycoon 2, Age of Empires 2 and The Sims 2. A lot of 2s weirdly enough, but that was just that time of period, I think. Even though I had an Xbox, a PlayStation and a Wii, the one big thing that I was saving money for when I was younger was a gaming PC. Although I had GTA 5 on my dad's Xbox, for some reason little 14-year-old me wanted to play that game on my PC. Because even back then I knew that if my mother's family computer could only run Minecraft at 12 FPS, that meant that GTA 5 wasn't going to work at all and would most likely explode the whole thing entirely. So back when I bought my first gaming PC, me, my brother and a friend of my mother who did stuff in electronics gathered around and built it. Around a month later I got GTA 5 on it, and after letting it download for literally 3 whole days, yeah, the old internet at my mom's place was crazy like that, I ran GTA 5, put all the settings to low and got around 20 to 30 frames per second. And oh man, I was the happiest little boy in the world. And until the whole gaming causes anger in children stuff got popular and my mother didn't want us playing harmful games anymore. But I mean, for those 2 months before she found out, I was happy. After that I mostly played a whole lot of Minecraft, but at this time with a good 60 plus FPS instead of the previously maxed out 12 FPS, which was eye-opening. I could finally like spin my mouse around really fast and it didn't crash the game. Back then I joined a Dutch Minecraft server, became an admin, and I even met my real life friends that I still have today on there. So that was really good. The point is, I grew up with PC gaming, and even now I type this script on my new gaming PC that is actually kind of getting old already a little bit compared to what's out there right now. I mean, I'm still rocking that Nvidia GTX 970 graphics card, and it's barely keeping up, but it's doing the best, so please don't bully him in the comments. But what changed? I mean, you read the title, you heard the intro. I like console gaming more now. But why? To be frank, I don't really have a 100% clear answer. Hi, Ripsy and everything here. I don't really know why I said this, because the answer to why is like this whole section of the video. So yeah, continuing. Nowadays, I am a different person. Sure, I still want to play games quite often, but it's no longer every living second of my life. I have other hobbies as well. I have a girlfriend, we have an apartment together, and own 2 cats. I have responsibilities, as you can see. I look at games differently because of this, which is something I explored a little bit in my first documentary-ish video about Minecraft, but this time around I want to look into it a bit more and look at gaming in general instead of just Minecraft. When I was a teenager, the games I played were almost always multiplayer games. I love gaming with and against other people, seeing how I scored compared to my friends, and more importantly, I looked at what my brother, my father and my friends played and went, wow, that looks cool, and played the same games. For example, if my brother didn't show me a game called Smite, I would most likely have never played it, but back then I think I poured around 100 to 200 hours in it, and because of that game I developed an interest for mythology, and maybe that's why right now as a man I think about the Roman Empire quite a lot. These multiplayer games were a big part of my teenage years, and up until I really started thinking about my gaming experiences, I simply thought that I'd moved on from those games, but in reality, I went even further back. The very first games I played, I didn't play because of the multiplayer aspect. I mean, back then I didn't even really know how multiplayer worked. But I played them because I truly enjoyed the game. Of course, being Dutch, as a 7-8 year old boy, I didn't really understand English well enough to appreciate most stories in games. But because of that, it allowed me to be creative and write the stories in my head. Rollercoaster Tycoon 2, Age of Empires 2 and The Sims 2. These are all games that allowed me to play them in the way I wanted. With Rollercoaster I could make my own theme parks, I could make crazy rides that would make the park visitors vomit, and back then I thought that was so funny. Seeing the exit pathway being covered in pixelated vomit was pretty much the peak of my weekend. After writing the script I looked up Rollercoaster Tycoon 2, and yes, this is actually a real trailer. What the hell?
Make make people sick. Just one of the fun things you can do with the Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 Combo Pack and the Time Twister Expansion Pack. Rated everyone.
With Age of Empires, I really didn't understand how to play it correctly, but it did allow me to make my own Roman Empire and defeat my enemies. And if it all went downhill, I could simply type in the cheat code Furious the Monkey Boy and have an ape walk over to the enemy base and destroy everything with just a few swipes. And well, The Sims is The Sims. I could recreate myself, do basically anything I wanted to, and finally commit suicide. The laid-back feeling I got from playing these games as a kid was something I went looking for later in life. And the laid-back feeling of these games, in my opinion, is combined best with playing them on a console. After a long time of PC gaming, in May of 2022, my girlfriend and I decided to buy a Nintendo Switch, and with it, Animal Crossing New Horizons. And oh man, we were both hooked. Of course, 2020 is that year where a lot of us were stuck inside, so I guess that really amplified the need to do something. But for my girlfriend and I, that meant still sitting inside, but working hard on a virtual island with cute little animals that go. Playing such a cozy game on a device like the Switch, it flipped the switch for me. After being so used to sitting at my desk playing games, now being able to snuggle up into the couch with a soft blanket and my Switch, my perception of gaming shifted. That same year, my girlfriend and I moved into a bigger apartment, which meant that I got my little office room that I'm sitting in right now, and with my computer, my whole setup being in this room instead of in the living room, I was finally confident enough to start this YouTube channel. And that's because I knew that my girlfriend wouldn't hear me record, because that's kinda awkward, I think. After moving house, we saw a discounted PlayStation 4 with a couple of games, so we decided to get that for in the living room. And basically, ever since we got that PlayStation, I can confidently say that I like console gaming better than PC gaming. Don't get me wrong, I still love PC gaming. I mean, what can I say? I'm just a gamer in general, I guess. But being in the living room with a controller in hand, just playing some games on the PlayStation, it just feels right. Sure, you can play games on a PC with a controller as well, which this is an Xbox controller. I don't really know why I chose Xbox for the PC, but that's okay. It just doesn't feel the same. And yes, I also know that you can play more games on a PC than on a console, and I also know that a gaming PC might get better graphics, and it doesn't matter. I've grown up as a person, and with that, I've grown to love console gaming. Right now, when recording this on the 9th of October 2023, I have a PlayStation 5, a Nintendo Switch OLED, the Tears of the Kingdom edition, and of course my PC. And in terms of playing games on them, I think I listed them in the right order. Besides feeling right, there is more to a PlayStation that I like over PC gaming. And one of these things is something really small, but only PlayStation does it correctly in my opinion. And that is trophies. I'm not necessarily a big trophy hunter, but I do really like having that little bling whenever I do something cool, or finish a chapter, or anything basically. It's also a really nice incentive for me to continue exploring games, getting the most out of them instead of just playing through the main objectives and keeping it at that. Before gaming on a PlayStation, I never really cared that much about 100%ing a game, and with PlayStation, besides being able to say like, yeah, I 100% in that game, you know, literally have a platinum trophy to prove it. It's just something small, but it's something I really like about PlayStation. Besides that, I like buying the occasional physical copy of a game, and in this day and age, you don't really get that for PC anymore. I mean, nothing beats this plastic case with a nice little cover on it. One other thing with that is when I buy a game that says PS5 on top, it means that when I put it in the PS5, it works. It's simple as that. When I buy a game on the PC, I should be able to expect it to work on the PC. And well, yeah, but your specs need to be up to par, otherwise no. That simplicity with console gaming is something I now cherish, instead of stressing over the newest components to buy and place in my PC in order to be able to play the game at high settings instead of low settings. Something else I like more about console gaming than PC gaming is coming back to that like it feeling right, but it's because I use my PC for a lot more than just gaming. I think that gaming on my computer setup is actually not the #1 reason why I use it anymore. Nowadays that's YouTube stuff, researching, looking for new background music, recording, and well, basically just YouTube related things. So after doing these things all day, unwinding with games in the same spot seems kind of weird to me. Having my computer set up in a different room now, I can literally step away from that and indulge in gaming on the console. Because otherwise, I know that while gaming, I think of something, I go like, yeah, I can check it really quick, I'm on PC anyway, so might as well. And then checking it out turns into an hour, and well, I'm not gaming anymore. which of course can be super nice. I mean, to be able to quickly go from one thing to another is, I think, the best thing of a PC, but it doesn't allow for me to really get into a game the same way that I can on a PlayStation or a Switch. Some people really dislike the whole building aspect of a gaming PC, and I mean, yes, first you have to pick out all the hardware, and now you have to put everything together exactly as it needs to be, or else problems. Now, I'm one of those freaks that actually kind of likes putting together a PC, and sure, it can be difficult, but it's basically like really technical Lego. I only really had issues with building my PCs once or twice, and those are small things like not having the SSD connected right, which is an easy fix. But even with these small fixes, there are things you'd pretty much never have on a console. No, I'm not saying that with a console it cannot have technical issues, of course not, but just in my experience, my PC has crashed countless of times, and my PS5, PS4, Switch, even the Wii, they've never crashed. And finally, to get the obvious point out of the way, the cost. Gaming PCs can be way too expensive, like it can be absolutely insane. And yes, you can get more out of the games when you spend more on hardware, but a PlayStation 5 can run the games incredibly well for a fraction of the cost, and to be fair, you don't really need more than 60 FPS. My intention with this video is not to bash PC gaming. I mean, after all, I still play PC games and enjoy it. I just prefer console nowadays. I just want to tell you my experiences with PC and console gaming and just give you the insights that I've had. These days, I don't feel like the PC versus console wars are as hardcore as they were a few years ago, and I certainly don't want to stir this up once again, so please be kind in the comments and let me know your experiences with PC gaming and console gaming. I would love to hear it. Leave a like if you like this video, subscribe for more content, and maybe watch another video like this one right here beside me. I hope to see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.